Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel, Notes from the Sewing Room. My name's Becky. Today's video is all about my latest hack off project. Now, hello. If you're unfamiliar with the hack off, it's something that myself and Adele from Button and Pip come together to do once every couple of months or so, and we take a project and we basically change it up into something else. And this time we're taking the Molly top by Sew Over It and changing it into something completely different. I hope you've had a lovely week, whatever you've been doing, and you've managed to swerve the weather a little bit. It's been absolutely awful here today with Storm Dennis. But hopefully you've been okay and safe wherever you are, and also you've managed to fit in some sewing or baking or however you like to spend your spare time. I did manage to squeeze in a little bit of time earlier on to make some shortbread biscuits, which is really nice, and it just seems like the perfect activity to do on a cold, wintry, horrible, blustery day like today. But anyway, I'm kind of going off topic a little bit. I wanted to tell you all about my latest hack off project. So like I said, this time we are hacking the Sew Over It Molly top. So if you're unfamiliar with the pattern, I've printed mine off as a PDF, and I will put some pictures up on the screen so you can see the pattern a little bit better, because my version looks a little bit scrappy because it's been pushed into my drawer and also used quite a few times. I've just got it in a brown envelope here. But basically there's two different versions of the Molly top that actually are included with the pattern. There's a long sleeve version, which has kind of got a sleeve that finishes about here, and then it's got a kind of another section of the arm kind of added on around about where your kind of regular short sleeve t-shirt would finish. And then there's also an extended version of that which turns into a dress. So I've actually not made the dress version before, but I have made both a regular kind of short sleeve t-shirt version of this and the long sleeve version of the top as well. It's absolutely a lovely make to do. It's really quick. It's got a fairly high neck in terms of a round neckline with a neckband on normally. So that's the first thing that I decided to change. Also, rather than doing a kind of straight skirt for a dress, I've decided to do a dress for my project, but I've decided to add on a pleated skirt this time. So let me tell you about what I've decided to do. Firstly, I've decided to change up the neckband, so or the neckline should I say. So if I just hold this up, you'll be able to see. So I've basically cut the bodice to the waist notch here. So if I just hold that up to myself, you can see that it comes down to around about my waist. It's still looking rather wide at the moment. I've got to work out a way to kind of bring that in at the side seams. I've been considering adding in some darts, but I'm not sure about that as it's a jersey fabric that I'm using. At the moment, I've literally sewn it down each of the seams, and I've also added on some stretch interfacing, which is just around here, around the neckline that I've decided to cut. I decided to go for a square neckline, inspired by many dresses and tops that I've seen in the shops recently. I just think it's so pretty, and it's just kind of an unusual neckline to go for. So yeah, I really like that. And I've also added the stretch interfacing along the back area as well, because what I'm planning on doing is adding on a facing, turning that to the inside, and then probably top stitching it with a twin needle, but I'll see how I go. What I'm kind of doing is I'm hacking as I'm going along. So I've got the ideas in my head, and then as I'm sewing different stages, I'm finding out how things work, if things need changing, if it's not going to work, etc. So I'll keep you posted on that one. I have sewn together my facing that I just mentioned. It's just here. So the facing, as you can see, it's got the square section at the front, and then it's literally joining onto the original kind of round neck area. So hopefully that's going to work really well, and we'll see. But cross fingers, because I'm hoping that it will be a really pretty finish on this one. I've decided to use a Tilly and the Buttons fabric, which is the brand new cotton range of jersey that Tilly and the Buttons just brought out. So it's a lovely colourway. As you can see, it's got these multicolored stripes on it, so I've decided to kind of play with the stripe design in the fabric. So what I've got is, if I just turn this the other way around, you'll be able to see, I've decided to include the stripes going across my body on the bodice, and then for the skirt area I've decided to have the skirts going downwards instead. So if I just hold that up there, you'll be able to see, so you can see that the stripes are running across, which I think is going to look really pretty. And then if I just hold up the skirt version, it's all kind of pinned together at the moment because I'm in the early stages of putting this together. So you have to excuse any kind of messy bits. Just hold that up there, you'll be able to see. So it's a pleated skirt that I'm doing, and as you can see, the stripes are running downwards. So I've actually used the Simple Sew Grace pattern skirt without adding on the waistband. So it's going to be a little bit of a challenge kind of putting together the top section of the bodice and also the skirt. So I think probably the skirt is going to have a slightly smaller finish than the top because the top is designed to be a little bit more loose fitting and you know, comes down below the hip. So what I'm going to do is I'm probably just going to take that in at the side seams to actually fit the skirt. But what I'm going to do in this video, I'm going to show you different steps as I'm going along. So I wanted to show you where I'm at the moment, and then I'm going to be coming together with Adele in about a week's time to actually reveal what we've both put together. We never speak in between time in terms of what we're actually making and what fabric we're using and what plans we've got, because then it can be a complete surprise when we actually come together and kind of work out, you know, show each other what projects we've actually done. So I'm really excited to see what Adele's put together this time. And in the past, when we've done these different hack off videos, it's so fun because I've got no idea what she's going to do, she's got no idea what I'm going to do, and we normally come up with completely different ideas. So yeah, that's really good. One thing that I would say about this Tilly and the Buttons fabric is, and like I say, it's a gorgeous colourway, and there's quite a few different lovely patterns of the range out there. But one thing that I found, and I've actually heard someone else say online as well, is that when you actually stretch this fabric, if I could just hold that up, you'd be able to see, it's actually white on the back of the fabric. So if you stretch it too much, the white kind of speckles do come through the fabric a little bit. So I am trying to be careful when I'm actually putting my project together, that none of the areas are stretched too much. You know, like you would stretch a neckband to try and make it nice and flat when you're actually putting it in. So I'm hoping that it will be okay. So far so good. Like I say, I have stitched the sides of my t-shirt together, and it kind of looks okay. I think if you were looking up close, you would be able to see that there are little white speckly bits running down the seam there. I used a zigzag sticks to stitch that together, so that's kind of regular for jersey. I used a ballpoint needle, did all the regular things that you would do, but it is just something to keep in mind if you were planning on making perhaps something that was a little bit more tight fitting, or a project that did require a fair amount of stretching for some reason. So but I'm really looking forward to finishing this project and meeting up with Adele in about a week's time. So wish me luck, and I'll be back on the channel very soon. Hi, just checking in for a brief update just to let you know how I'm getting on with my project for the hack off this time. So basically I've managed to finish my dress, but I don't really like it very much. I don't know, you know what it's like, you kind of order fabric and you think, oh, this is going to make a gorgeous dress, but I don't know what it is about it. I like the neckline and I like the shape of the skirt and whatnot, but I don't know, it just feels a little bit 1980s somehow. So I just thought I'd reveal it to you before I go and meet Adele tomorrow to actually show each other what we've made and whatnot. So I'm going to hold it up here so you can see it. So the first people that's actually seen it, so I've not showed it to anyone else apart from my husband, who also said it looks a bit 1980s. So what I've decided to do is the stripes run across on the bodice and then the stripes run down on the skirt. So as you can see, I've made a kind of square neckline, which I think is really pretty and really flattering. And I went for the short sleeve on there. I added in a jersey kind of interfacing, and then I've made a facing to go on the inside of there as well. Yeah, I don't know, I kind of just wish I'd made it in a different fabric, and I don't know about you, but I just find it so disappointing when I've kind of made a project and I've spent time doing it, and then for whatever reason it's just not quite, you, so I just kind of feel like this is just not quite me, if that makes sense. But you know what, I'm gonna hold on to it, and maybe I might wear it over the summer. You know, maybe I might change my mind by then. The other thing is, it just feels like it's a little bit loose. So what I decided to do was, I've added some little pleats into the front of the bodice down here, rather than adding in kind of full darts, which I think is a kind of a good idea because it gives it a little bit of shape. However, you'll see probably when I've got my dress on tomorrow, when I'm with Adele, that it is still a little bit loose for me. So yeah, I kind of think I could maybe put a belt on it, or I could maybe make maybe a little fabric belt to go on it or something, but it's just not what I'd hoped for, really. So I kind of just wish I'd used the fabric for something different, maybe some pyjamas or something else. But yeah, so we'll see how I get on with actually wearing it as the weeks and months go on. But I just thought I'd check in and let you know that I did actually manage to finish my project, but it's not one of my favourite things that I've ever made, which is a little bit disappointing, but there we are. Hi everyone!
Hello!
Hi! We're filming on location today. We're at Crafty So-and-So in Leicester, and here's Adele from Button and Pip. I know you know Adele. So we've come together to reveal our outfits today, and I really love what Adele's made. She's made this gorgeous jumper. I don't know if you want to just tell everyone what it is.
Yeah, so it's a sweatshirt jumper. So instead of the top, I went for the jumper with some ruffles, and I've copied a ready to wear. But what I really love about this is Becky didn't have hers on when I arrived here, and it's the excitement of knowing what each other's looks like. So go ahead, talk about yours, because I want to have a little few questions about yours.
Okay, great. As you'll remember from earlier on in this video, I talked about changing up the neckline. So this is the Molly top, and I've basically altered it. I've added in a few little, two little pleats here. I've got no pleats on the back. If I just turn around, you can see the back there.
Yeah.
I've added in some interfacing, which was stretch interfacing around the top here, and I've made a facing rather than adding on the regular neckband. I changed the neckline to this kind of square type neckline because I quite like that. I think it's quite
that
flattering.
really suits you. Didn't you do another one that was very much like that? Your animal.
Yeah, I did.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's where I got the idea from. Although I didn't actually use another pattern to do this neckline, I just cut it directly onto the fabric. I was feeling brave that day, so I just thought I'd dive in, and I kind of used the stripes as a guide of where I was going to cut. So that kind of worked out okay. So I do like the shape of the top. I've not changed the sleeves at all. I've basically not added on the extension part like Adele's got here. And I've literally just turned that up and top stitched it. So that's kind of worked well. Then I've added on this pleated skirt down here. So as you can see, I've had a play with the stripe direction, which I think is quite fun.
Yeah, because I did that with my Stevie, and that's what it reminds me of when I came, that it's my Stevie.
Yeah.
Because I went that way and then that way with the skirts.
Yeah.
Have you thought, Becky, just looking at it now, have you thought about, I know that you were saying that no, this is one to move on from, but have you thought about taking the skirt off and then actually gathering it and then using some elasticated clear elastic to pull it in?
Pull it in, yeah, I could do. Or I suppose there's an option, if I really didn't like it like this, to maybe just turn it into a skirt or something like that.
Yeah, with an elasticated waistband.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah, so that's an option. I think it's just, I don't know, I like the fabric and I like what I've done to it, but they're not together somehow. I just feel like it doesn't help that Neil, my husband, said that it was quite 1980s when I showed him.
Oh.
So I think that's just made me feel a little bit self-conscious. But yeah, I kind of feel like that myself as well. So yeah, it's just one of those, isn't it? You kind of, you make some things you love them, you make some other things you don't so much.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a shame.
Yeah, we were talking about our hacks that we've done in the past actually, and there's been a few where you've loved it and I've not, and I've loved it and you've not.
Yeah.
So it's been a really interesting journey that we're both on, of taking the same pattern. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, it's a bit disappointing because I can't see myself wearing this in its current form a lot, although I might change my mind, you know, come summer. Maybe I need something that's a little bit breezy. So, with some Converse, you know I love Converse. I wear Converse with pretty much everything.
I need to buy some new Converse because mine are completely wrecked. hats now, so I'm on the hunt.
Yeah, MacArthur Glen Designer Outlet, that's where you
Right,
need to go.
that's where I need to go.
Yeah, but yeah, so I've really enjoyed this project, and I've really enjoyed kind of thinking outside the box. I always really enjoy doing our hacks.
Yes.
Because it kind of just pushes you out of your comfort zone a little bit. But I think for me this time, it's probably not a winner, but you know, that's life, isn't it? But if you do want to hear more about Adele's
Yep, if you want to hear how I got on, well, where I got the idea from, I say that I've copied a ready to wear.
Yeah.
With this.
So head over to Adele's channel, Button and Pip, on YouTube, and then you can see and hear all about what she's done.
Yeah. And until the next hack.
Yeah, we'll leave it there and say see you later.
Bye.